Hi, this is Vibeke from ControlPro Risk Management. I just wanted to give you a quick insight in basic risk analysis. The basic risk analysis process has many names, and it's the simplest form of doing a risk assessment, analyzing risk, but it's very useful both for organizations that are new to risk management and organizations that are well acquainted with the process. It can be a way of getting a lot of information in a short time about your context, your stakeholders, your surroundings, obvious threats and opportunities that you have, but that you haven't yet put into a system. So the three things that you need before you start are motivation, a clear sense of your goals, and a group of people that are willing to talk about and discuss these issues that you might have. You need the motivation, because that's what will drive you forward to get your results. You need to be clear about your goals and your objectives, what you want to analyze against, which goals and objectives are you seeking to achieve. For a basic risk analysis, you don't really need a lot of data, but you need to have a group of people with experience and knowledge about the area you are analyzing. So you need to gather your people, your experts. If you have someone that's good at playing the devil's advocate, perfect, that will help you a lot. Going into the process, there are a few steps that most people that are acquainted with the process know. And, there's a little bit of discussion if it's good enough or if it's sufficient, but still, this is a simple way of getting started. Firstly, you need to identify your threats and opportunity. This means that you need to ask yourself, what in my context, inside my organization, outside my organization, from my stakeholders, in the market, in the environment, can challenge my possibility to reach the goals and objectives I've set. Equally, you need to look at the opportunities. What in my surroundings, what in my context, what in the market situation can actually propel us towards reaching our goals and objectives. Most probably, it will give you a list of issues or scenarios that you are worried about, or hopefully also some scenarios that you look at with joy, because nothing is better than if you can reach your goals and objectives in an easier way. So when you have identified a list of threats and opportunities, you can go ahead and look at the consequence of each of these threats and opportunities. If one happens, what would be the consequence? Would it affect health and safety of your employees? Would it affect your economic situation? Would it affect reputation, the environment in your surroundings? Would it affect your compliance situation? There's a lot of things that you can view the consequence in light of. The important thing is that you use the values that you have in your organization and the goals and objectives that you have as an anchor in looking at the consequence. Once you've looked at the consequences of each of the threats, opportunities, scenarios that you've identified, have a look at the probabilities. Is it likely that the incident will occur, or is it highly unlikely? There's a scale here, and you can probably see that some things are more likely than others. When you look at the consequence of risk, positive or negative, and you look at the assumed probability, you will get some sense of how to prioritize these risks. What is most important? where do I need to put my attention, you can get a sense of how to prioritize, how to what to put on the top of the list. However, doing this, identifying threats and opportunities, saying something about the consequences, saying something about the probabilities, is not really risk management in full. You need to close the circle. To close the circle, you need to set some actions. You need to say, this risk requires that we do this and this and this. It requires that we set up some barriers to prevent it from developing. It requires that we plan how to go about it if it happens, or if it's an opportunity. It requires that we take some steps to harvest any benefits from this opportunity, because you have to chase the opportunities just as much as you have to try to avoid the threats. You can leave this as a prioritized list. You can put it in a matrix, classical red, yellow, green matrix. The main point is that you actually use the information in your processes towards managing the company you're working in. So giving these results to decision makers will be a great start to implement risk management and get started. This process is described in my book, Basic Risk Analysis. You can download it for free in our webpage. And in the book, you can find some links that will lead you to very simple templates. If you don't have anything, this is a place to start. It's not very complicated, and it will bring you further in controlling your organization, making better decisions, and learning how to manage risk every day. That's all from me today. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.